This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Today is the first day of autumn. This signals Rob's departure from the beaches, and his return to the craft of making jack-off-lanterns. What? No, not jack-o'-lanterns. Jack-off-lanterns. It's when Rob carves a hole in a pumpkin and puts his fleshlight in there. It's spooky season for Rob's wiener. Our IP Livecast starts now.
Two comments. I just as she really sold the jack off lanterns. That was fantastic. Like the other one, did you hear it turn into like a Brooklynite at the end?
Yeah, in the air.
Like, he sticks his dick in there. Oh, little Jack Horner in there.
All right. Well, welcome to RIP
The fucking corner.
We're having a bit of a technical issue to kick things off. It's the first. No, it's not the first day of autumn. It's the first weekend of autumn.
I think, isn't it the first day of autumn?
Yesterday would have been the first day, right?
I think it's today.
I thought summer ends on
It's
the 25th.
today.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
today?
it's today.
Summer ends on the 22nd?
Yeah,
Since
you
when?
blew it, Rob. You could have gone to the beach yesterday and you didn't do it.
I couldn't have. It was too cold. It's sad. The last beach day was unfortunately Wednesday.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. a beach day, I guess.
But it is sad because remember last week I said all it takes is a few bad weather days and it's gone for me. And guess what happened? What did Mother Nature do to me this week?
Took a big old piss on your head.
Took a big old pill on my head.
What accent is that?
I don't know.
Was that Southern? Was that black? Who should be offended by what you just did, Rob?
Just all listeners.
Anyone with good taste.
But yeah, it's a bummer. But I did end up going back to my Russian indoor pool. I broke my autumn seal.
Any interesting encounters so far?
Well,
Any old man balls?
I went a little later in the day because I went after my jiu-jitsu session.
Did you shower in between, or did you go right from jiu-jitsu into the pool?
No, there's showers there, and you're required to shower before going into a pool. It's proper etiquette.
What happens if you
Rinse.
don't?
They don't let you in the pool. They tell you. to
How
go
do they
back
know
into-
if you showered
you're
or not?
not wet. It's pretty visible.
What
There's
if
a
you're just
check-in
wet from the
before you get
jiu-jitsu
in the
sweat?
pool. I guess you could get away with it then, but I was not. The sweat had dried up. But also, I want to shower. I want to get that stank off because it's not just my sweat stank. It's all of my opponents' is sweat stank. You know, so
How many
gotta be
opponents
careful.
in a session?
It could be three to five or
God
six.
damn.
Yesterday, I actually had six because it was an open mat thing, so there was no lesson of the day. It was just rolling, so it was pretty intense.
Darren is back.
I'm back.
I like this. I like the phone angle.
Yeah. Why? What's wrong with my other angle?
I don't know. This is just different. This almost
It
feels
feels
like you're
very
calling from
intimate.
prison or something.
Oh, why
I
does it
don't
gotta
get-
be prison?
I don't get prison. I just get like we're FaceTiming, like it's late at night, and like, hey, what are you up
Yeah.
to?
Rob,
Hey,
what are you
I
wearing,
can't
Rob?
I'm wearing a youth coach shirt.
I love it.
Maybe it's more like we're a news show and you're like an ACLU lawyer calling in to talk about a crisis of some sort.
Yeah, the sewage in Brighton Beach has been exacerbated by Rob.
Well, it's okay now. Rob's not going there anymore.
I was going to say Rob's summer of shitting has thrown off the ecological balance of the.
Wait, it was Rob that was putting all the feces in that water? I thought he was just swimming through it. God damn it, Rob.
Well, I'm sure.
I would say my diet has gotten to a point now where it's no longer like I'm no longer taking these sort of. Actually, I take it back. I take it back. It's not true. I'm still taking mega shits
In the ocean.
in the ocean. Never in the ocean.
That's
No,
what we're
like,
talking about.
I was
ends
gonna
up in
say,
the ocean. With,
yeah, Rob.
with
No
the
one
sewage.
cares. No one cares about your volume of shit until you start murdering crayfish.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I see. No, I can't. That doesn't seem comfortable to me to shit while floating.
You don't have. You
wading
could
in
be
the
standing. You don't
water.
have to be floating.
I guess standing and shitting doesn't seem
Well,
comfortable. I don't know. I've never
Rob's
done
Try
it.
it.
Rob is so tall that if he stands up while shitting in the ocean, people will see the turds come out.
Right. It has to be a really, really high tide for me to get away with that.
He's so high up that the pelican would just swoop by and grab the turd right out of his butt. He's high up enough.
Can you imagine, like, you know how the pelicans have those big, like those the bottomless beaks where
The
the fish go
gullets?
in, and
Yeah.
it's just full of Rob turds?
Why you gotta be Rob turds?
Because you're the one that goes to the beach and shits
Yeah.
in it.
Where? What? Since when? I don't-
You admitted it like 2 minutes ago.
I might have embellished that last statement.
Hold
slightly.
on. Hold on. Wait a minute here. Yeah, but
By
no,
the way,
you wanna-
someone needs to make that Photoshop of Rob in the ocean pooping and a pelican just gobbling it all up.
Duder.
Yeah,
Duder.
Deuterino.
Deuterino doo-doo photo.
more like doo-doo Reno.
Exactly.
And
You stole that joke from Darren like that pelican stole that turd from your butt.
Pelican thought it was getting a nice fishy treat, and then all of a sudden,
Oh.
Rob, at least give the pelican a little bit of pleasure and eat some seafood next time before you shit in the ocean. So it'll be a
oh
little
well,
fishy.
that's virtually guaranteed. I feel
Yeah.
like seafood is like my number one source of protein. I guess no, I eat more chicken than I do salmon.
Oh, okay.
It's like chicken, salmon, and scrimps.
And
That's
nothing
right.
else.
Yeah.
You said you eat McDonald's.
No. There's
and-
greens, like sides and stuff, but that's not.
What do you get on your
This-
frequent McDonald's trips that you talked about?
Filet-O-Fish every time.
They're not that frequent, but it's if I do go to McDonald's, typically it's a breakfast. If it's
Not-
it's the
Oh, you did mention that.
sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. But if
Right.
it's
Gotta
a
get those
lunchtime,
burritos.
a lunchtime McDonald's thing, I have to be like starving, and there has to be a huge amount of time since the last time I've had any sort of fast food. Like if I had just had any sort of fast food, I'm like, no, I shouldn't do this. I should really like save it up,
Yeah.
like reward points, but with junk food.
I think I'm gonna hit up some fast food today. The last time I think was when the Roll and Roaster trip that we all did.
That was a while ago. God damn.
Yeah, or maybe trying to remember if there was something in between. There might have been, but I've been eating very well. I'm proud to say.
So what fast food are you gonna do to break the seal?
I haven't. I'm thinking it over. I don't even know if I'm gonna necessarily go because it's pouring out here.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll keep
Are
you updated, Sid.
Thank you.
Like, are you feeling more of a burger, a chicken finger? Like, how do you want to consume this?
It's not time for me to eat red meat yet. That's on the 1st and 15th of the month that I portion that out. So I'm gonna. It would be something chicken, but maybe a Popeye's chicken sandwich,
Okay.
or maybe I would go get like an upscale version of a Popeye's chicken sandwich at a nice place.
Oh, like a buttermilk.
Yeah, I've had trouble with the Popeye sandwich lately. I think I mentioned this on the air, but it's getting worse even since I mentioned it. That the quality is not very good. Not fresh.
I was
That's
never
a
a fan of it. I always felt like I don't need the buns. Get the tenders. I don't need
let
those
the-
extra carbs.
I don't need it certainly, but I wouldn't
Get
eat
it
it
out
if
of
I-
here!
if it
I
wasn't
just be eating
during
more
my.
chicken.
But if it wasn't during my fast food binge, I would say I agree. But the fact that I'm binging out to do a break from my
You want all the
diet,
things.
I want it.
Yeah.
But it's a nice. If you just look at like in a food sense, it's a nice balance. Like if they have a really good bun, and when it's prepared the way it's supposed to be prepared, it's very very good. But a lot of the places half-ass it is the problem.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I just never had like a Popeyes that cared because I always felt like the balance between the breading and the chicken thigh meat wasn't an even balance, and so I always
Meaning
preferred,
too
like,
much of what and not enough of what?
too much of the the thigh is usually too fat and sometimes undercooked.
Yeah, I
which
don't
is
like
always a
that.
bummer. And Yeah, that's why I prefer, like, I really love their nuggets. The nuggets is the perfect breading to chicken ratio. And get a
Was
little
it-
fries.
The problem I have with the sandwich that most of the places do is they really overcook the bread. Like it's like as hard as a rock. The breading, get it? And you
Oh,
have to
they toast
crunch
it?
the-
Oh, the breading. The
The
breading.
breading
itself.
is just like a wall of granite before you get to any chicken.
It's like
That's why I
granola.
still go with the McDonald's McChicken, like the old school, like high school cafeteria McDonald's chicken sandwich, because it's just something comforting about it, and it's not that crispy. Like I think the newer like the chicken selects that they did and stuff like that work more like rock hard, like you're talking about. But the old school like chicken patty, weird whatever this is sandwich, it still hits the spot for me.
I tell you,
Once or twice a year.
I think I mentioned this on the show, but I firmly believe and stand by my statement that the KFC sandwich is better than the Popeye sandwich.
I don't think I've had it still.
It's a ripoff. The when Popeyes put their sandwich out, KFC said we got to do that with the chicken place, and they did it, and they improved upon it, in my opinion.
I believe
it was
that.
really interesting when Popeyes did this. All these other fast food chains are just like, we have all these ingredients. Let's make our own version. Who cares? Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's just a chicken sandwich.
Well, at Popeyes, it's pretty.
I mean, it's hard to get it right.
No,
like,
I mean it's hard to bite through.
Literally, it's hard to chip a tooth.
Well, that concludes our fast food nation talk here, folks.
Maybe.
Yeah, we didn't plan this one, so
yeah.
I want to do a little local news.
Shitting in the ocean? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Not that local. That's hyper local.
Right.
To your anus.
That's News 12 shit.
Earlier this week, our beloved mayor, and beloved I say ironically because we love to laugh at him, Eric Adams.
What'd that old scamp do now?
Well, last week he noted how there was going to be budget cuts across all sectors of the city budget. And if you have a problem with it, you could blame it strictly on having to pull resources for all the migrants that are coming in.
Right. Now, surely, I mean, between the three of us, the largest, most bloated budgeted thing in the New York City budget is the police. So surely the first thing they would be cutting would be the gigantic, astronomically huge police budget, right, Rob? Is that correct?
Well, it's funny you should mention that because this story actually highlights a new initiative from the bloated NYPD budget, which in fact is not cutting the budget, but in fact adding to the budget.
Well,
that's wild.
Is that true? Because in the report that I saw, they say that this new thing only costs $9 an hour.
What?
And they brag how that's cheaper than actually paying an actual human cop.
Oh, so they're renting this. Okay,
Yes.
well, let's take a look at the report.
Okay.
I have the report, and then I have relatively raw footage of the press conference where we get to see our mayor in action.
Oh, boy.
Doing the job, all of our tax dollars.
He's a
He
jobber.
really is Mayor Quimby. He really
It's true.
All he's missing is the sash. We got to get him a sash.
We love our wonderful police officers.
Here is our local ABC affiliate, WABC 7 Eyewitness News with the report.
Then digi-dogs. Now New York City's turning to robots to patrol the Times Square subway station.
I love even the reporters like first digi-dogs. Now they're like even the
Yeah, but he's got he's got the wacky human interest story voice, not like isn't this frightening, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he's not going on the subway. He doesn't care.
Right, exactly.
This guy's taking a fucking Mercedes to it from the studio.
That coiffed haircut.
Yeah.
First there were drones, then digi-dogs. Now New York City's turning to robots to patrol the Times Square subway station. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett live in Times Square with more on today's announcement. NJ.
Look at this big smile. Ha ha.
So Dave, what weighs 400 pounds, gets paid $9
This is what I love. I love the people watching in these live reports. This guy, he's like, who the fuck? What's going on?
84
hopping this turnstile. God damn it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say 84 people just jump over the turnstile while he's standing there talking. I'm Digidogs. Oh.
By the way, two things about this reporter. First of all, your name is NJ. You should not be a reporter in New York City. Get the fuck out. Second of all, NJ, you need a fucking haircut. What is that? A mullet in the back? Look at him.
Shameful.
It's true.
Did he not know he was going to be on television today?
There's probably a barber in Times Square he could have popped into.
The robot could do it.
Especially, yeah, that's another functionality for this. Especially cutting to him right after super coiffed fucking beauty salon guy. It doesn't make him look good at all.
So, Dave, what weighs 400 pounds, gets paid $9 an hour, and works from midnight to 6 in the morning without complaining?
Robert
Pesavini. Oh, sorry. We both went for a joke at the same time. Sorry. Sorry, Sid.
Also, this is kind of fucked. Like, in a way, there's an element to this that's messed up, that they're bragging about. Here's one less New York City, local we have to pay.
Yeah.
A livable wage.
Which, honestly, if it's a cop, I'm okay with it, but it's still a weird thing to brag about.
Yes, okay.
Could I also say they got the Chiron wrong? Because the Chiron is about the police dog, and that's not what they're there to talk about.
Oh, great catch.
An unprofessional news broadcast. God damn.
I'll give you a hint, Dave. It's not photographer Mike Thorne. It's not photographer John Spry. I'll give you the answer. It's a RoboCop called K5. It's about to begin.
This guy cannot be a serious reporter. This guy looks like he handles the Broadway beat.
Yes,
what is
but
that,
that's
Rob?
the point.
Your homophobia is showing, Rob. What does that mean?
I'm just saying, he seems like he doesn't.
He'd be way more put together if he handled the Broadway beat.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the whole point. They send the guy who does the wacky human interest stuff to cover this. So it's like, oh, look at these cute, forceful automatons that will tackle anyone trying to get on a bus for free. Oh, isn't that adorable?
Here in the Times Square subway station. So yes,
this thing literally looks like R2D2.
The future is now. The robot is
even the same color
the city's
scheme.
busiest subway station in the overnight hours.
Nice American flag on there.
Mayor Adams made the announcement.
In case you thought the robot was a foreign agent.
This is the thing that kind of made my brain explode. Mayor Adams is posing for a photo with the robot. The robot, like I said, it looks like R2D2. It has no hands. There's nothing resembling hands on this robot.
Right.
And
trying to
Mayor Adams posing for the photo is doing half of a heart symbol, which is like a Gen Z thing.
Is that what it is? I thought he was trying to give the robot a fist bump.
No, like two people take a photo where they both make half of a heart with their hands. So he's making half a heart with the robot. The robot can't make a half a heart.
I would have loved.
The robot has no heart.
I would have loved if the robot's laser eyes went into functionality and just sliced his head off, thinking it was a homeless person. Like his homeless person subroutine just activated, like destroy, execute, destroy, and just fucking
person of color. Too close.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that angle. That's true. That could. It's racist subroutine would be activated because Eric Adams is too close.
I mean, could that robot be any whiter? Like, it's the whitest thing I've ever seen. Literally, it is shiny white.
I just want to see the POV shot from Terminator 2, where it's like Arnold assessing a threat, and this robot just fucking caves in Eric Adams' chest.
And it's the new mayor. Would we prefer this robot be our new mayor?
Is it like WWE? Like if you beat the mayor, you just become the mayor?
Yep. I mean, eventually they'd have a special election, and it would be the robot versus a drone versus the police dog.
Yeah, that's where we're going. A Digidog, Sid.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to start selling Digidogs at the hot dog or dirty water hot dog carts.
Delicious.
Would you like a Digidog?
Sure.
Here this morning. They've pointed out, Dave, that crime underground is trending lower, although felony assaults are still higher than they were before the pandemic, and that's, of course, the concern. The mayor insists that rioters should feel reassured the robot's going to act as a high-tech set of eyes to watch.
I bet if we looked up felony assaults, it was like before the pandemic, 10. After the pandemic, 12. Uh-oh, felony assaults are up.
We need Digidogs now, stat.
over the station as it moves about, capturing video without using facial recognition technology.
Yeah, okay. Now,
Without-
okay, so this is another thing that's such bullshit. It's going to capture video without using facial recognition technology. Any video captured innately is eligible for facial recognition technology because it is capturing your face.
I guess they just mean on board the robot. There is not that technology. It would have to be sent to a server and then someone with a computer elsewhere.
Exactly.
So
that's all they have to do to cover their ass is that this unit doesn't
Yeah.
have that capability, and then they're fine.
My big question is, what is the upskirt shot capability of this robot, and where do I get that access?
It's not low enough, Sid. Unfortunately,
Damn it.
yeah. It's
Like,
it's too-
I just don't understand. Like, how is this supposed to curb assault or whatever? The assaulters will just look around first to make sure the robot isn't around.
Well, Rob, that would have been a great question for a nearby reporter to have asked Mayor Adams. Instead of covering this as if it's the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Also, this robot, I don't know if they've considered this, but it's pretty easily neutralized with just a towel.
Yeah.
Like the assaulter just needs
like
to
a
have
parrot.
one normal shower towel with them. Just throw that over the front of the machine and then do whatever the fuck you want.
Is there
Towel
only
detected. Abort. Abort.
Is there
What was
only
that?
one of these, or are there multiple robots?
What are you, some kind of leftist with that kind of question?
What are you gonna want? You want the robots to unionize now, Rob? Is that what's next?
Probably.
I just want, I mean, I'm saying if they're really trying to keep Times Square secure, you would probably need a few of these roaming around, not just one.
Yeah. Well, we're getting there.
And I say this as not as someone who thinks this is a good idea. I think.
I'm sure
But if we're going
they
by
start
this-
with one. Before you know it, there'll be more of them than actual passengers on the train.
The problem is that one of these costs $3.7 trillion, so it's going to take a while to get a couple more.
The other thing, so these robots they're not going to be near the train tracks. So they're not going to be on the platform and they're not going to be on the subway car, where I guarantee at least 80% of these crimes happen. It's not like they're all happening by the turnstiles in the entrance to the subway.
Well,
People
the subway cars themselves are going to have cameras now, like the new subway cars.
The cameras that can roll around and chase you and make you feel weird? Or just
No,
stationary ones?
just security cameras.
No, that's not the same.
I'll tell you what would happen to that fucking robot if it was near the train tracks. I'm just saying.
That's great.
It's 400 pounds, so it'll probably take a few people to knock it over. But yeah,
momentum.
That's what you would see the teamwork of New York City residents.
Yeah, set up a ramp, with like garbage and stuff, with just cardboard.
Right. Teamwork and ingenuity would occur.
Darren, I mentioned this while you were off, but this is essentially taking the job of a cop. And Sid and I were on the fence. Human-wise, it's messed up that they're bragging hey, look, we don't got to pay someone. We just got to rent this thing for $9 an hour. But you would think that the cop unions, who are so sensitive to any sort of change, that you would think they would be against this. They're embracing this stuff.
They are inherent bootlickers. That's the problem. So if the story is we are going to be able to harass more fare beaters and more homeless people and more people just mind their own business on the train or whatever, they're for it because it's a philosophical thing. They're never going to argue against it, in my experience.
Probably right.
Recording audio, according to the mayor. The robot will have a panic button that riders can use to call for patrol officers.
What if seeing a
Mainly,
fucking
it's
police
intended
robot makes
to
me
be a-
panic? Can I report the robot?
So
Yeah,
that's a little weird that you could interact with the robot as well. Does the
Deterrent.
robot have a taser or a stun gun functionality? If you come up to it asking for help, you have to get tased first before you can hit the panic button?
Patrol officers, mainly it's intended to be a deterrent to crime.
Good luck.
A deterrent.
Welcome to New York City, K5, and welcome to the NYPD.
Oh, the accent.
K5
Oh my
is a
God.
robot that uses technology already in existence. We are taking an
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah,
How
that
can you
makes
use
me wonder, like,
technology-
what is he?
Hold on. How can you use technology that's not yet in existence?
Well, like, why would he
These are the
say that
people-
unless he was lying? Clearly,
like-
it's using some kind of technology that we don't already know about, or else why the fuck would he have said that?
K5 was sent back in time by John Connor. Technology that absolutely does not exist. Wise ass. Next question.
These are the people in charge of spending all of our tax dollars.
Look at
Could
this
you
guy.
also just play that clip again and look at how suspicious he looks when he says that? He like looks down and looks away. It's really
Hey,
fucking
this-
weird.
Is this right? Who wrote this copy here?
K5, you write this?
K5.
Welcome to New York City, K5, and welcome to the NYPD.
I cannot answer you.
K5 is a robot that uses technology already in existence.
What was that? Was
The
so
look up.
suspicious.
The look up.
What the fuck?
What did I just say? I'm a little punchy right now.
Jesus Christ.
I just had spent 3 hours running around in a circle on 42nd Street platform trying to get this thing to stop killing people. I'm a little punchy right now.
Expansive camera network in the subway system and adding to it, supplementing to it, if you will.
If you will.
And adding a series of cameras that not only moves, but a device that can connect subway riders to immediate assistance if
Oh,
the need
thank goodness.
arises.
While I believe it is our duty to utilize state-of-the-art technology advancements,
None of our local officials can read. I mean, who am I to judge? I have problems reading when I'm reading here on the show, but like, look at these people.
You're ahead of Mayor Adams and this guy. I got a question. So I just understood him to say that K5 has some sort of interactive module that you can call for help if there's a...
Right, the
Okay.
panic button.
So can you call for help if K5 is Eric Garnering you in the corner of a subway platform?
If you could reach the button, yes, that's the one.
That's the
Wow.
game.
That's the Achilles heel.
That's helpful.
it is our duty to utilize state-of-the-art technology advancements to help keep New Yorkers safe. I believe we must do it wisely.
It is our
and
duty
not
to arrest that
intrusively.
booty.
Well, the mayor insists he's sensitive to privacy concerns. Of course,
Oh,
the
here we go.
liberties experts have objected to what they see as an expanded security surveillance state.
Okay.
The
Can we
robot-
hear from one of them?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only criticism. That's like, critics to say they might, like they're totally blowing it off, not explaining what the privacy concerns are.
Right.
Well,
Well, Eric Adams is sensitive to it, so we're fine. That's all right.
Oh,
He's
okay,
sensitive.
that's- all right.
He cries when he hears it.
I'm having too much fun
Softly.
with the story. I wanna watch some of this.
I want to see some more footage of that cop that just talked. That guy should have a podcast.
Oh my God.
Technology already in the future.
And that's the best guy they had to throw in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
That's
was
the
the one
chief
they
of
chose.
police. That's the chief of police.
Is it?
I
didn't
No,
know.
wait, but it's not the commissioner.
It said chief something.
But I think the
that's below the
commissioner is
commissioner.
over him. But then it's all bullshit because Eric Adams runs the police. Anyway.
Right.
Here's another ABC News report on it from a different broadcast. Let's see if who's this guy? This guy's he's been around the block, right?
Sure.
What's his name?
I don't
What's
know.
his name? Anyway.
I can't see him.
something strange roaming around the subway pretty soon.
Are they doing like a mating dance? These two robots? What was that?
Robots to help patrol the Times Square subway
Yeah.
station. Each
Swan
one
Lake is
equipped
playing as they.
with cameras to send live video and other intelligence back to the police department.
Isn't technology grand? Here's Eyewitness News
No.
reporter NJ Burkett.
NJ's back.
This guy, man, he lives in the subway station, so they just bring the camera crew. They're like, all right, AJ, wake up.
Oh, and it's the same exact script. Listen to this.
NJ Burkett.
The newest member of the NYPD weighs 400 pounds,
Ah!
gets paid $9 an hour,
The
and works
same thing.
midnights without a single complaint. And transit
Oh my God!
commanders
This is
couldn't be
direct
happier.
from like
Welcome to New York
Central
City,
casting.
K5, and welcome
Oh, he's
to
of the transit.
NYPD.
He's the chief of transit.
K5 is a robot
Oh,
that will
boy.
patrol the Times Square subway station in
he
the
needs to move up
overnight
these
hours.
ranks. This is a shit
Equipped
job.
with multiple cameras and two-way communication, intended to deter crime and to capture crimes in
Whoa.
progress.
Really?
Oh, can we see that
what?
again? That woman did a face plant, right? I mean,
God. Was that
it's a
that was
horrible
so
crime, but that was funny to look at because I'm a
That was
horrible
so
person.
gratuitous. That wasn't
Yeah, like
necessary.
why are they
for this
showing
story.
In
this?
progress.
Well,
Because
to
it's a
say
black
we
guy
need
doing it.
K5, yeah, we
Yeah,
need K5
K5
to stop black guys pushing white women into subway cars.
We need K5 to record these great viral clips as opposed to just citizens on Twitter. Like what is K5 gonna do?
We need K5 to reboot America's Funniest Home Video.
Who will record the next Pizza Rat? If not K5, the American hero.
So they should take your since they're doing this already, they should take your upskirt idea. You make K6 will just be like a flat just a flat board with a camera on it, just going next to all the
floor. Yeah.
goes next to all the floors just have
Yes.
cameras. It'll be F6. It'll just be the floor, and then they put them right next to all the staircases.
I mean, you put that on a server, let the cops have access to it, it boosts morale.
I caught a guy trying to do some upskirt videos the other day.
Seriously?
Oh, really?
On the train platform. Like he was trying to be very stealthy. I think he didn't know I was looking at him. And he was like and getting frustrated. Like he was shooting and doing it wrong.
Wait, you know the
Doing it
right way to
wrong.
do upskirt videos?
I mean, I've never done it, but I know simple physics. Like he was
What was he
walking right
doing?
behind he was walking right behind the woman and like trying to hold his phone low. But like, and then he would come back down, make an excuse like he forgot something, come back
my
down, and then he
God.
waited. And I mean, again, I've never done this horrible thing, but I would think if you wanted to shoot straight up, wouldn't you stand right next to the side of the staircase? Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, and it's less effort on your part because you're not moving around making yourself suspicious.
And he was getting mad. And then I think as I was getting on the
And he
train,
pushed her into a subway car. Like, bitch, stand still. I'm trying to get some good footage here. Boom.
yeah. And so I got on the train, but then he looked back at me like suspiciously, as if he thought I was like, do your thing, man. I'm not the cops. Whatever. I didn't say that in my head. I said that.
Darren, do you have any other tips for people trying to shoot upskirts?
I mean, yes, I do. Don't do it. It's a violation of privacy. I'm just saying from a purely filmmaking standpoint, I thought it was a bad approach. But don't do it. It's gross. There's so much. What does that like appeal to people? You can see women voluntarily showing their entire vaginas on the internet. Like,
with better
why?
lighting.
It's got to be the
the
act
risk.
of deception and invading their privacy.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Mhm.
You're not going to get any good quality. It's not like there's spread down there. Like, what are you going to see? Underpants with poor
Right.
lighting.
Ladies, guard yourself on the New York City subways.
They know. They know. After
Just
seeing
saying.
that footage of that one woman crashing into the subway car, they better know.
Yeah, well now, but K5 is on the case now.
He's going to be pinballing around, throwing everyone left and right.
Actually, they need an upskirt division to stop upskirt videos. Push those guys into a subway car.
Yeah. Or smack the phone. Like, can K5 like reach out and just smack the cell phones out of their hands?
I'm not a fan of that because I don't trust the technology, and they might smack my phone. I'm just sitting there looking at sports updates or something.
K5 is a Yankee fan.
No,
Knows
fuck
you're
you.
looking for Met scores.
It probably would be. Oh, fucking
27 rings, motherfucker. Smack.
Yeah, just have them go around saying that. Derek Jeter. Best shortstop of all time.
So classy.
Oh, class. R. Retrospect. Remember that?
K5
fucking
doesn't
shit?
have any facial hair either.
Yeah.
Follows
Yeah,
the
that's
code.
true. No hands to make a heart and no facial hair.
And those blue lines on it could sort of be like pinstripes.
If anything could have made the story worse, it's the Yankees.
Do we have any more footage, Robert?
We have not footage, but I have the website for this thing. I looked it up, Nightscope, and it looks very, very creepy.
Oh god.
Dystopian. It's dystopian.
Yes. So the tagline of this thing is "You need superhuman capabilities to fight crime," and it's just like it looks like I'm watching Cops on Fox.
Yeah.
Of all these different robots with security cameras built into them,
I feel like sci-fi has been warning us about this for like
Oh
literally
yeah.
75 years, and we're still gonna just do it blithely.
And it's very creepy. And I love that one of the
Oh.
prompts is connect with a human.
Oh.
Like you said earlier, Rob, I'm just picturing like some alternate timeline where this could actually happen. Like the cops band together over their like desire to like murder these people in an old school way, and they form a faction to go against the K5 division, and there's just a big all full scale war.
They miss the old police brutality. And so my question now is like, so they say $9 an hour, but is that factoring in the price of whoever they're paying to clean the piss and blood and shit off of these robots on a daily basis? And the cum?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
The
like
ketchup.
the copy is so dystopian here about like what all the different places you could use these. Like at the airport, passengers want a stress and worry-free traveling experience, and the screening process to mitigate threats to their safety does not begin at TSA checkpoints. What? You want this fucking robot to be like judging people? And how would you screen them without the facial technology? You know, like, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, they upload it somewhere, and that server has the facial recognition technology.
If any of you guys ever run into this robot, you got to get a selfie with it, by the way.
Sure. Well, I don't know. Is it the machine gun panel gonna open up if I try to do that? I bet you. I bet you they like that though. They probably like showing like pseudo heartwarming pictures with the robot or whatever. Did you know like our local supermarket has one of these fucking things?
Yes, I was just gonna mention. I was gonna talk about the Stop and Shop have these.
Yep. And it's got big googly eyes, like it's supposed to be cute. It's taller than me. I don't know. It might be around Rob's height.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
it's
so
like slightly
freaky.
taller than me.
And it's supposed to be you're able to like scan items, and it tells you the price of the items.
Yeah, they put that in to disguise what it's really there to do.
But like, yeah, like who would ever want to approach this thing? Anytime I see it, I run the other way. I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Well, I have the answer for you, Rob. The answer is children. Children love to go up to this fucking death robot and like point at it and play with it. And the parents are usually horrified. They're like, get away from that fucking thing. I've seen it like cause problems. I've seen it like nothing drastic, but like it'll stop short. It's supposed to have motion detector, but it'll stop short like when a person's with their cart right behind the fucking robot and they just stop and there's a huge collision. So
I do that on purpose just to damage the robot.
Sure. Well, they'll probably throw you right in the fucking clink and send you a bill for that shit.
Also, the aisles in that supermarket are fairly narrow. Is that thing just like taking up space and people can't get around it?
It generally mostly goes through the front areas where the registers are and the back area. But it does go through the aisles occasionally to get from one to the other.
I know, like, there's probably other stuff we could talk about, but I'm so fascinated with this robot. I found the whole press conference, the raw footage of this press conference with that guy and Eric Adams.
Michael Kemper, members of the NYPD's Tactical Response Assistant Unit, including Commanding Officer Frank DeGenero.
I don't care about this guy. I care about two people, Eric Adams and that chief of
Kemper.
transit.
They need to have a podcast together.
Thank you so much, Justin. And I think that one of the concerning things for me is when Deputy Mayor Banks gave me an analysis of the population of men and women in law enforcement, really in criminal justice, how those numbers are decreasing substantially.
So let's decrease them more by hiring robots.
What we must do is look at existing technology and see how do we continue to be innovative in its use. And
it's not innovative if it's existing.
You hear me
I
say
feel
it
like
over
that's
and
just
over,
how cops talk. Like,
safety.
they're using unnecessary words and like the individual went to this place and the perpetrator did this. You know, they just have to sound more important.
And justice are the prerequisite to our prosperity. particularly in our subway system. When people feel unsafe to use our trains and buses, it impacts our economic stability as well. And so we must
Solution,
use every
scare the shit out of
available
them with
method
robots.
to continue to see our city be the safest big city in America. And that's what we're doing. We're taking existing technology,
again,
cameras, being able to communicate with people, and we're placing it on wheels and ensuring that it can be used 24 hours, 7 days a week if needed.
Sometimes
but
24
it will
hours.
be there for
25
proper
hours,
use all the
27.
time. Recently, we
We will
used
be using the existing time scale of 24 hours in a day.
This
real-time
cop standing
information
behind him
that helps
is the weirdest looking
disperse and
motherfucker.
concert crowd safety.
It's like he has to shit and he's
At
holding it,
Randall's
hoping this
Island,
conference
it was a
ends soon
very
enough that he can make it to the
successful
bathroom.
initiative.
All right, it's a fucking robot. Can we move on here?
Thousands of
The coffee's
dollars in
kicking in.
manpower. We cannot tell you how properly using technology save money. We're seeing it over and over again.
How? I can't believe that this is going unchecked. Like, how is he allowed to just say this is a good thing? You're taking jobs away from people.
It's not even a debate. It's not even like a question like they ask and he swats it down. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's just like
right,
not
right,
even
right.
mentioned.
But is this going hand in hand with cops being laid off? Or is this just they're hiring one less new cop?
Well,
Oh,
they're
I don't
saying
know
there's
about that.
At the top, he said there's a shortage of cops. They're not
Okay.
even able to hire enough cops. They have so much budget, they can't even fill it with cops.
Yeah, because the K9 costs $2.7 billion.
No, it's because you guys are so mean to the cops. They feel bad. They don't want to become cops anymore.
That's what it is. See, you know what? I
Rob's
always
going to
thought
shoot him a
that.
dirty look on the sidewalk, and it's going to ruin his day. So he's just going to become a lawyer.
You know, Sid, now that you mention that, I feel really guilty. Like I'm rethinking.
You're bullying them is what you're doing.
Yeah,
Right
you know
out
what?
of a job.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sure they really appreciate that.
I think we all owe them
view
an apology.
from the ground or in the air really allows the proper deployment of manpower and police resources. I'm seeing it every day at these different scenes of emergencies. When you are able to use this technology properly, you can properly deploy your personnel. Today, we're launching a pilot program to test the Nightscope K5 security robot.
Oh boy.
The NYPD must be on the forefront of technology and be 2 steps ahead of those utilizing technology to hurt New Yorkers. And trust me, they are. Don't think we're the only one that are being innovative. Bad guys are being innovative all the time. That is part of the GLA problem we're having. They're using...
The bad guys tried to go to Nightscope. Nightscope reached out to us and we're like, Mayor Adams, the bad guys, they want Nightscope.
Can you top their offer?
We're topping them because this is a constant battle with the good guys and the bad guys. And you know, we can't let them win. They got great technology. We got to buy better technology. What?
I like the guy in the suit behind him right now with his eyes closed, looking like he's getting the best head of his life.
It really is.
K5 is reaching over and
steal cars.
Say, wasn't there a fucking robot?
Ahead of other agencies, they won't stay ahead of us. Devices like
Wait, hold on. Pause that. Why did he say the bad guys are ahead of the other agencies? Was that shade at the fire department?
Yeah.
Sanitation don't got a motherfucking robot.
They do actually.
I think he's talking about like New Jersey police.
I see.
Maybe
like
the
other
NSA.
police departments.
Even still, whoever the fuck they're talking about, just talk about your robot and the positive attributes of your robot.
While using technology going forward. Here's what New Yorkers can expect from this new mindset that I have by using pre-existing technology.
Again, with
And this
every
is what
fucking
you
time,
could
it's like,
expect
Well, now
with
he's back
this
to
mindset.
pre-existing technology.
Yeah.
First it was existing. Now it's pre-existing. We got to use old technology.
robots have been around since the Jetsons. It's nothing new. It's nothing new, people. It's pre-existing.
Yeah. K5 was assembled by Spacely Sprockets.
Isaac Asimov conceived of this in 1937. There's nothing new.
Midnight and 6 a.m. at the Times Square subway station for 2 months. With the duration of the trial, it will be accompanied by a police officer at all times. And for the first 2
thank
weeks,
goodness. What could
it
go
will
wrong?
be trained to map out the station. It will move around the main station area and not on the platform. We want to be clear on that.
No.
It will record video that can be reviewed
So if you're
in
a
case
cop
of an emergency or a
and your
crime.
manager, your supervisor pulls you aside, it's like, all right, we got a new detail for you. For the next 2 months, your entire job is just you got to follow this fucking robot around in the Times Square subway station. Are you excited for that, or are you like annoyed that you have to do that?
Annoyed.
You think?
I mean, it's
Because
probably
now
less.
this robot's also looking at you and the dirty shit you're doing, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's
Hey.
programmed not to care about that.
Hey, Thompson. Hey, you're off the streets, pal. You're working the robot, Times Square Station. I don't want to hear another word.
Yeah, anytime the cop wants to beat up a homeless person, he just presses the blue wall of silence button. And it mutes and blinds everything out for a period of time. They stick together. K5 sticks together with the cops.
Is there a rough up an informant button or? There's got to be.
Yes.
It will not record audio, and it will not use facial recognition. However, the K5 does have a button that connects you immediately to a live person.
So it can murder them.
Utilize 24/7 with
Oh.
questions, concerns, or to report an incident if needed. And at the end of the 2 months, we will assess the robot's effectiveness and decide whether and how we will continue to use it moving forward.
So we know now
New
the
Yorkers
rule is
have
anytime
strong
you see
opinion
one of
on
these, you have to press
technology.
that
I'd like
button
say
just to fuck with it.
8.3
And
million
they're just
New
keep
Yorkers,
walking.
35 million opinions. So
Until the
you're gonna
person
hear
on the
them
other
all.
side of that button like quits their job from being so fucking annoyed at the false calls and notifications.
Sure.
But they are going to feel.
Oh wait, I guess
the
if there's a
presence
cop standing next to it
of
the whole time, it's
technology that will continue to keep.
But I
them
think the
safe.
cop is just like
While I believe
with
it is
the
our
thing
duty to
in the
utilize
beginning in order to
state-of-the-art
like.
technology
Can you pause it for a
advancements.
second? The cop is just there to make sure the thing doesn't go haywire and explode and like start killing people. I don't think it's permanently meant to have a cop next to it.
Right,
But
it's
for
just
those-
the first 2 months.
yeah, but now I'm just like wondering, like, so if a person shows up and is asking that cop for help, whose only job now is to follow around this robot, does he
Yeah.
help or does he say,
No.
no, you got to press the button?
Sorry, lady.
I'm just an observer now.
I'm not
Okay,
here.
Oh, that's a good question.
Nah, I'm sure they would just take the opportunity to arrest people. I'm being serious. I think
You're
they
probably
would
right.
probably.
Yeah.
To
Or
help keep
you know,
New York
whatever.
safe.
Do whatever they do all day.
I believe we must do it wisely and not intrusively. We are committed to exploring innovative tools to continue to make this city the safest big city in America. And this robot K5, it has the potential to serve as an important tool in our toolbox.
All right. Let me fast
In a tuba?
Tuba Raba, Tuba
Tuba
Raba.
raba, tuba raba.
I want to get this. The chief. Oh, look, the guy took a shit. He's smiling now.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
he soiled his diaper.
Is one team in this city.
There's leadership, cops,
that
cameras,
ain't
and cables.
If we're going to expand.
There we go.
Ah, this is the gold.
How do you train the human officer who's partnering with a robot?
Lame question.
How are you going to train the human officer to work a foot patrol with a robot?
So I think, as was mentioned in the opening, we're going to have a uniform cop from Taru assigned, if you will, to the robot. For
From
the,
where?
first
Taru?
Yeah, I don't know what
period
that
of
is.
the Pilot. The
Tiramisu?
officers that will be assigned with K5 are certainly trained in how to use it. And depending on how that goes after the 2-month pilot is over, if we're going to expand upon it, certainly we'll have more training for other officers.
How are they going to use it? I mean, you're not going to babysit it, right? I mean, how do they...
They're going to walk alongside of it, and a lot of it has to do with transparency and questions and curiosity from the public, right? I mean, to have a uniformed cop walking with it, particularly in the initial, infancy stages, if you will, as we're introducing it to the public, it's very important that the public knows what this robot is, what its capabilities are. So that's in large part why we
might have to make an example of a few people.
Again, like I mentioned, after the 2-month pilot, we'll reassess and see how we move forward.
It's nice that they cast this part with Robert Wall.
Yes, I was trying to figure out who you reminded me of. That's so fucking perfect. Oh my god! Wow, nailed it. Oh my god.
Mayor, good morning. President Davey.
His name is David. Show some respect to the president. Don't call him President
Transit
Davey.
Riders Council. He's also a member of the MTA board. And to everyone. And thank you for being here, and welcome to the station that sits below the crossroads of the world.
The crossword of the world.
The busiest train station attached to the largest subway system in the
This
nation.
guy's literally every dude in my neighborhood is this guy. Looks like him, sounds like him. It's every guy in my neighborhood.
This guy lives in Long Island.
Probably.
Yeah.
The crossword of the
Let me
world.
say this.
10 across. 4-letter word for murdering homeless people. Oh.
Mayor Adams and his administration has been crystal clear and vocal since day one. Public safety was going to be and is his top priority. And when it comes to public safety, there's no one that does it better in the world than the NYPD.
Woo! Yeah, because they kill anyone that's unsafe.
Tried and true methods of subway policing, deploying cops in turnstiles, on platforms, in mezzanine areas, and even inside moving trains has been the cornerstone of our crime deployment and crime reduction strategy. And this administration's investments and support, and through long hours and hard work by the men and women of the NYPD, overall crime in the subway system is down.
Come on, you're supposed to say birthing persons of the NYPD.
And
this guy's so fucking behind.
Lows. This year alone, subway crime is down 4.5% versus last year.
You can get the memo. He's a rebel.
Matter of fact, overall crime in the subway system
Put up with that
is
woke
down
shit.
when comparing versus pre-pandemic years. For example, crime is down 8.1% versus 2019.
Great.
Crime is down 8.9%.
That's just the amount of people that died during COVID.
And when
Doesn't
taking
actually
out the
mean anything.
pandemic
Our
years of
population is there.
2020 and 2021, for obvious reasons, only 2 years in recorded history have lower overall crime numbers in the subway system.
Well, here's the
versus
question
calendar
then.
year
If that's all
2023.
happening, why do we now need a fucking robot?
I was just going to say, why
If
are we
things are
saying-
going
why-
so great.
Looks like it's fine.
No, it's all thanks to the robot. The 8 minutes that they've had him in service, it has lowered crime 8.9%.
Today, we take that notion of tried and true policing, of assigning a transit cop to their post, and we bring that to a different level. Under the leadership of Mayor Adams and Commissioner Caban, the NYPD continues to take strides to explore innovative approaches to 21st century policing. Several months ago, we introduced to the world the idea of a robot that would, in essence, patrol a subway station. It's fitting that we are near the theater district because today, K5 is taking center stage.
Oh my
boy.
God. Get
Welcome
the... All right,
to New York
enough.
City, K5.
I've had it with Michael Kemper.
Yeah, he lost me. It makes me just cringe a little bit that I used to have an accent that was somewhere in the ballpark and zip
Oh
code
my
of that.
God, I can't imagine.
And not that bad, but I mean, I feel like it still leaks out occasionally.
Well, I don't hear it.
Thank you.
Maybe
I
it's
worked
like when
hard.
you're like in an argument or something. I know some
Yes.
people like get more accented when they're emotional.
Well, you may hear me lapse into it on this show and have thought that I was doing a bit, but I actually, I mean, to an extent, yes, I do it sometimes, but there are also other times that it just, I just, this fucking guy.
It's all right.
That's the thing. You never know when it's a bit.
You got to call it out.
I will try to do that next
Thank
time. That was a bit. I'm sure that's great for comedy purposes. That was a joke, people.
All right.
What are you eating, Rob?
Having a little bit of gum. I should chew it out.
Just gum?
I had a little dry mouth.
Oh.
In other news, folks, don't bring your dog to a metal show.
Oh.
Who
did that? Dave Mustaine?
No, some fan at this Motionless in White show.
Use your microphone voice as you spit out your gum.
I was spitting out the gum. Some fan went to the Motionless in White the band Motionless in White. And this is in Scranton, which, that explains things.
By the way, K9 just got an alert that there was gum littered onto the floor of your apartment. It'll be there very shortly.
I have a trash can over here. Get out of here. I'm not spitting gum on my floor.
Well, that's we got to work out the kinks in the K5 system.
Who thought this was a good idea, bringing a dog?
The dog seems pretty chill.
The dog is not having a good time. It's
This is a big fucking show.
Handle the loud sound.
Is it like a service dog?
I'm
got that little vest.
Sure. Well, you can just buy that on eBay. That doesn't mean anything.
It's true.
Rob, are you saying that blind and deaf people are liars? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying people who are not blind and not deaf take advantage of the system in place for people who are blind and deaf.
Right, but
just because they want their pup with them at all times.
I will say that a Motionless in White show is a great place for a deaf person to be. It's one of the best places you can go. It should be an audience full of deaf people.
Don't know anything about Motionless in White.
What we just heard was the most I've ever heard of them, but I assume they're horrible. Rob?
Oh, okay.
Are they horrible?
They're what you would consider horrible, yes.
Okay, thank you.
What about me?
Yeah, I'm not sure you guys. I don't think they're your.
Well, what's their genre?
They're like kind of metalcore. Here's a little more footage of the dog.
So what we're saying is this is animal cruelty. I'm
the dog does not look comfortable.
Because of the music, though.
All I'm seeing is a lamb goat search page, Rob.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. I was on the wrong tab because I remember Lamb Goat actually had a good.
Oh boy.
I don't think the dog can handle how loud the noise is too. Like it's dogs.
Maybe the dog is deaf.
Yeah. Maybe it's a service person.
Yeah. The dog is like, I'd like to go to the show, please. I love looking at scene girls.
Imagine you have like a amazing dog, the first dog ever that can talk, but he doesn't have anything interesting to say. He just wants to go to shitty.
He's just got basic bitch music taste.
What a dilemma.
By the way, RIP stands for Rover in the Pit.
Good.
But you're against this, Rob.
I am against this. Do not do it.
Well, then against it.
Leave the dog at home. I would never bring Bobka to a show.
Well, Bobka's also tiny and very skittish. This dog was big and seemed like sort of placid about the whole thing.
Don't do it. It's too loud. It's too loud for humans.
Right.
And now, was it for the whole set or just like this one moment that people filmed and then he got out of there?
I am not sure. But no, it was. I think it was for a few songs at least. It wasn't just. Yeah, it wasn't. It's not clear how long the dog was there, but just don't think it's something you should be doing.
Poor dog has tinnitus now.
It could. They're not supposed to hear sounds that loud.
Where's K5 when you need him to go in there and arrest this person?
Have those robots patrolling the pit instead of security guards.
Won't be any of these windmill punching motherfuckers anymore.
You break your fucking hand.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. We briefly touched on this a few months ago or a few weeks ago about the singer of Thy Art Is Murder.
Oh, yeah.
Being like a transphobe. Said some
Shocking.
dumb shit. And he was
believe
like
it.
quoting Matt Walsh about some inaccurate story about how some parents asked their child if they were a boy or a girl, and the child was, born one gender and said they were the opposite gender, and so Walsh claimed that they got the child gender reassignment surgery as 5 or whatever.
And this is false, you say?
Yeah, I do not believe that is legal. I don't think you are allowed to do that to children. You could give them medication to delay the onset of puberty, but I do not believe you can.
What would they say if a parent asked the kid, "Are you a boy or a girl?" and the kid said, "Neither. I'm a police robot." That's next.
Anyway.
They take him down to the river and
drown them.
The witch. Don't do that. Just a joke.
Yeah, just stop showing your kids Paw Patrol.
I forget what exactly. Excuse me, the singer.
Jeez.
Oh, C.J. McMahon said that the woman in the story should be burned to death.
Jesus Christ. Take her to the river, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And that all these things about anti-trans stuff. And yesterday, Thy Art Is Murder released a new album.
Okay.
And they announced yesterday that they are firing the singer, C.J. McMahon, Chris McMahon or something is his name.
Whatever.
And they had fired him, and in secret, re-recorded the vocal, like a new vocalist, re-recorded the vocals, and the release features new vocals. And I think the funniest part about this is nobody noticed until the band announced.
Like people had heard the songs before the announcement.
Yes.
And no one could tell.
Not only that, but C.J. McMahon was promoting the album as recently as the night before.
Wow.
So he didn't notice either?
He didn't know until the announcement was made on social media that he's out of the band.
But didn't he listen to the tracks that were released and know that he wasn't on the album?
Maybe they gave him an out-of-date version and then had this other one. I don't know.
Subterfuge.
It's a good question. But
Maybe he just didn't listen. He hates the band as much as everyone else does.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a real sign of, the level of talent in the band, or, how easily replaceable things are.
Well, was he fired due to his bigoted statements or something else? Oh.
No. And he said, okay, so they said what transpired over the past month was not the cause of the action, but just another symptom of the drawn-out breakdown in his character and judgment. The straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. So I think it's just they were annoyed with him for a long time, and this was just the last thing. So Thy Art Is Murder, I believe their whole vibe is anti-religion, and he's preaching a very religious point of view. And it's like, hey, this isn't what the band is about. The point I'm getting to here with the story is I'm so glad to be out of metal media because I would not have a fun time covering this story.
Imagine the comments.
So that's exactly what I'm getting to. I've mostly right now is the most research I've done on this story just to talk about it, just to give the context of what I want to say right here, which is that when this announcement was made, every top comment that I saw on social media on outlets covering the story was some version of, what did he do wrong? Like, isn't this a free country? We have freedom of speech. He got fired for speaking the truth. He got fired for being based. And it's like the, I don't know if it's the persistent point of view, but it is the algorithmically favored point of view that, the just outward transphobia in the metal scene. It's disgusting, especially with like the idea that metalheads would be transphobic is so hard for me to comprehend because metalheads in greater society are treated like freaks.
Still?
I think so. No,
I don't think it's the same as it used to be.
There is a stigma, I feel. So you would think there would be some form of sympathy here. And I want to say I know plenty of metalheads that are not transphobic, that are very LGBTQ plus friendly and all that stuff, which is why it's so jarring for me to see in the greater internet.
Well, yeah, those people have better things to do with their time than post in comment sections.
Yes. That's another great point.
And also, I'm sure a lot of it is just people that don't care about the issue and are just mad that the singer of the band they like isn't in the band anymore. Like, if it was a bassist being replaced, I doubt they would care as much.
Nobody freaking noticed that the singer was replaced. How mad could they really be? Nobody pointed out it's a new singer until the band mentioned it.
Fair. I don't know. It's another band I've never heard.
But yeah, so and it like I guess I saw like Phil Labonte, like
what
did he do? What did he do? What did he do? He said we should leave our kids alone. We shouldn't snip our kids' dicks off. What did he do?
Yeah, I agree with that, but no one's doing that.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I'm sure he'll start another band and it'll be very successful. Him and Tommy Vext and Labonte, they could all, and fucking Tim Lambesis. Though they're all singers, right? I guess do they know instruments? Can they learn instruments?
Why do all these meatheads that just play music for a living like feel the need to opine on these very sensitive topics all the time?
Well, the other thing that's interesting to me is, there's artists like Phil Labonte and, Ronnie Radke that are anti-cancel culture, so to speak. And then when a band takes a position that they don't agree with, Ronnie Radke's like, you need to boycott Thy Art Is Murder now. Like, that's cancel culture. That's literally you're canceling Thy Art Is Murder for taking a political stand. Is it not within their right to not want to work with this guy?
I don't even think it's a political stand. I think they're just like, this guy's become too fucking annoying to be in a band with anymore. I don't know.
And a liability for PR too.
Yes, exactly.
But also, I don't even really want to hear these guys opine on anything, even when I agree with them. Like, just play your fucking music. Like, why do I need to hear you're pro-trans either? All right. I mean, but it's obviously less objectionable. But, why do they all feel compelled as if they're the oracles of our time or something? Like, just play your stupid guitar. Like, shut the
Save
fuck
it
up.
for between song banter if I'm already at your show. I don't need to see it on your social media. But also,
I still don't want to hear political rant. It's his stupid show. Sorry.
Well, even if it's Carlos Santana saying that the children need to be protected while a bass line is going behind him.
Ba-doom, doom, 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 doom. Don't snip your kids' penises off. Ba-dum, bum, bum, boom, boom, boom.
He could be the guitarist in that band.
Okay. Well, the
And
crowd
just bring the bassist along because he has practice.
That crowd was very put off by his ramblings, though, wasn't it?
I feel like it was mixed.
Yeah, that might not be the. Maybe Carlos Santana should go form a metal band with that guy rather than him touring with Santana. Then
Could be like his new Smooth.
Yes.
Go even more aggro than Matchbox 20.
He'll finally find an audience for his old boomerisms.
My God. But Rob says that most metalheads are allies. So I don't know what that.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
I would say it's at least I can't say most. I haven't done a proper survey, but I feel like in my peripheral of metalhead friends, there's no mooks.
I will.
Well, that's just because you wouldn't be friends with mooks.
It's true.
That's
Self-selecting sample.
Yeah.
Well, can I give my anecdotal thoughts on this? And this is by no means a scientific sampling, but
sure. But all I would just add is I think different bands have different.
That's also true.
Types of audience members that lean one way or the other. But now, what is your anecdotal?
I think broadly over the years, I think metalheads are generally open to bonding with oppressed communities, and like they've defended like black people and so forth whenever there was something issue in the news, or someone's just being harassed in a pit somewhere. But I think there's a difference when it comes to trans people, because it's so poorly understood and there's such a stigma that I don't think people look at it as like, this is an oppressed group. I think they look at it as that they're freaks and they're just deciding to do something on their own, and that they're really men and they want to be women. And I think that the same people who might be broad-minded in another context, they're so poorly educated on what a transgender person is, that they will stigmatize them where they might not do that to somebody else.
That's fair.
Let me see something right here.
Ordering more gum on Amazon?
There's an interview with the guitarist of Deftones where he talks about flat Earth stuff a little more.
What's this guy's name? We've played
Stephen
stuff.
Carpenter.
Yeah,
we played a while
like a few
ago,
years
when he
yeah.
first came out with it. We played like some crazy.
He thought
podcast
we're all in a simulation.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
I'm trying to cue this up a little bit, but you guys talk for a second while I find the Go ahead.
Hello,
go.
sir.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hello,
yourselves
sir.
about metal fans.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, it has to be about that?
No, it doesn't have to be anything. No.
I was going to ask what Sid was eating for dinner tonight.
I don't know. We've signed up for this new food delivery service called Green Chef.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that.
I have a Mediterranean chicken bowl, I think, tonight is what's on the menu. It's actually been pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised with how the meals have been so far, because our pal Lonnie is also a subscriber, and his reviews were mixed at best.
Oh, really?
But I have not had. Apparently, he only does the keto-friendly option, which I don't think we selected. And everything we've had has been pretty damn good. I have no complaints so far.
How's the portion size?
Fine. I'm never like super hungry afterwards. It's just enough.
You cook it or you make the wife do it?
Oh, the wife does that. I don't know how to cook shit. If there was microwavable stuff, I could do that. But anything
I thought it was
else,
like pre-made though.
Well, you still have to cook the chicken and the vegetables. It's like pre-cut and portioned out and stuff, but you still have to do the cooking.
It's like half cooking.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler Mediterranean Chicken Bowl was Rob's nickname in high school.
that doesn't make sense.
Mediterranean Chicken Hall, more like it.
Oh, you get a little salmonella up in that hole. There.
Oh, Sal and his whole family.
Send in K5. Solve that situation. Right
Clean
into
you
that
right
hole.
out.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a part where he talks about the flat Earth stuff, where he's kind of just like, people don't get it.
Oh boy.
And Steven is the one on the left.
I have my moments where I can get stuck in a rut, but generally speaking, no, I'm pretty good and comfortable in the studio. I've always enjoyed that process because it's always been that place where you could really, show what you can do, as far as, the red light's on, let's make sure we got it, but otherwise, sometimes it's a little, it could jam you up, but it's not often.
Like, I know I'm probably going to disappoint a lot of people with this interview, because I know there's a lot of people that are like want to hear about flat Earth and all these conspiracies and stuff, but I'm a music hound and like, so I kind of want to know about all this, like, inner band sort of stuff and like how a record's made and all that kind of stuff. That's like what really interests me. So it's actually, I'm sure we'll talk about some of that stuff in a bit here, but I'm
thinking on the same length you are right now. There's the subject itself obviously is an incredible subject because there's so much to it, you know what I mean? But I generally don't talk about it a lot unless I'm just trying to get, I want to see somebody's response when you just bring it up to them like what?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the reason that we're speaking, obviously, because apparently somebody had said that you had watched one of the documentaries or whatever, and next thing you know, he became a flat earther. So I was like, well, that's cool. And I was like, well, that's cool. But then I actually like started, looking into you and stuff, and then I found out it was like, oh, you're into golf and smoking mad weed and skateboarding and shit. I'm like, dude, this sounds like podcast. A guy I grew up with, listening to more in the Misfits and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, I'm living life and like everyone before they become a flat earther, I laughed at it all the time. My friend would bring it up to myself and another mutual friend of ours. And, I didn't realize I was unaware of the 3 stages that all truth passes through at that point.
Oh boy.
I was going through stage 2 and my friend was going through I was going through stage 1 and my friend was going through stage 2. And, but, and I often tell this to people. I'm like, the really one of the hardest parts about that subject is I could actually sit and explain to people, everything I know. I could tell you everything that I'm aware of and that I've learned about, all the different things. And no amount of me explaining it to you will actually make you recognize it. It's not until you actually see something that you identify with personally before you're like, okay, wow.
That like psychological phenomenon is something that it took me probably like 6 to 8 months to really get, because it was like, well, why? No, all the evidence is there. Why don't people get it? And then you realize it's a psychological thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a thing that you have to actually awaken your consciousness to. So that's why a lot of the browbeating that happened early on with a lot of the flat earth community and other, people, it's just like, you just gotta be like, well, they're not ready or whatever. It's just,
whatever.
It's like, you gotta, offer it and then want it, move on kind of thing,
And you
or not offer it. That's fine too.
Whether they hit that 300-yard drive down the center or they smash it into the trees, it's up to them. And
wait, does the curvature of the Earth affect golf?
Like you said at the very beginning.
No, there is no curvature. That's his proof. That's how he was awoken, is that he would do transcontinental flights, and when he would look out the window, he wouldn't notice a curve. He would just see flat. So that's what
I'm saying.
For him.
So the fact that he's hitting these drives are based on the fact that the Earth is flat, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was curved, he'd be a shitty golfer.
He might still be a shitty golfer.
Right, that's true. Worse.
Talking to you is awesome for me because it was your video, the litmus test video, that was my awakening. Like I said, my friend had mentioned it, for months on end and months on end. He just
what an annoying fucking friend. Jesus Christ.
Get into shoving matches.
This guy should be like, hey, I just said I don't want to fucking talk about flat Earth.
Yeah.
I want to talk about music.
Be like everybody else and just talk to your friends about BJJ all the time.
Yeah.
He just stopped bringing it up to us, and he never stopped. Once you're aware of the subject, you just always look.
The Earth is obviously flat, man, or else when I grapple, I would roll right off the side. 9 months
later, he had sent me the link to that video, and my first response was laughter, like it always was. I was like, "Wow, my friend really believes this," and it was actually that response that made me actually. I was like, you know what? This is one of my great friends. I owe it to him to actually look at what he sent, because up until that point, I'd never seen anything. He's never shown anything to us, which is kind of actually strange that it took him so long to actually show us something.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just finishing up a tour that we had done in Texas, and we had been talking about doing a tour of just Texas alone for years and years, and we finally did it. And when he sent me that link, that was on the day that I was actually coming home, and I got home. I live in California. 2-hour flight or whatever from Dallas.
There we go.
And when I got back, I watched the video while I was in and out of doing laundry and stuff like that. And time I finished the video, my laundry at the same time, I roughly finished them about the same time. I was like, I think I'm going to watch that one more time, but this time without interruptions, because it was pretty compelling. I was like, wow. Well, I watched it again. I make sure, I wasn't paying attention to anything else, but I was definitely just absorbing everything in that video. And what snapped me out of my dream was all the things to do with air travel and all the flight routes and stuff like that. Because I literally just came back from being on a plane. And I've looked out the windows left and right of planes for years now. And I've always been like, wow, look how far you could see. You know what I mean? Like, and never in any of those viewings do I ever remember anything representing a globe be present.
You're not high enough,
You
you
just
dumb
know
fuck.
that whether you're over land or you're over the ocean.
I just love.
It's just a table down there. It's just a tabletop.
It's a tabletop.
Oh my
That's the one thing that got me because I was a sort of like a hiker.
That's one thing that got me, ignorance.
Can I ask a question?
No.
Like, who gives a shit? Like, okay, the Earth, like if I had a friend who was this persistent, I'd be like, okay, fine, you're right, the Earth is flat. Anything else? Like, what do I need to do now? How do I need to change my life to adapt to this? Or can I go on exactly the way I've been going? Oh, I can? All right, cool.
Well, Sid, here's the problem. The globalist elites are pretending that the Earth is flat. It's not flat to further their agenda. So that's where you're wrong. It does affect you.
Ah, god damn it. Oh, well, I guess I'm a sheep. But like, what has he done other than now he's the weird flat Earth guy? How has this guy's life changed since he's been awoken?
Knows the truth. He knows the truth.
That's great. Great for him.
Yeah.
I wish I had so much leisure time that I could sit down and fucking worry about the Earth being flat all fucking day.
Do people ask other members of the Deftones what they think of this? Like, is this the only question Chino ever has to answer?
I think Chino said something like, yeah, people.
He's an interesting guy.
You got to love people for who they are. Something like that, just.
Because, I'm assuming this friend is a friend of the whole band, right? Was this guy the only one that was converted, though?
I don't know. Definitely the only one. I don't think any other member of Deftones has come out as a flat earther.
That's a shame.
I believe Chino actively said he is not a flat earther. So I think it's just he writes great riffs, so we put up with the bullshit.
They need to make new World Tour shirts where it's just like a table. World Tour 2023, and it's just like a flat table.
Yeah, they're all standing on some oak tag or something.
I am the Deftones.
What does he think about trans people?
Oh my god! Well, it was a transatlantic flight. I don't know if that's good or bad.
They tried to snip off the plane's nose cone.
They peeled it back, and it was just a plain clit. It's very sad.
He was very upset about that. Join up with the Dioda's murder guy.
Oh my god! There you go. They're finally another instrument for the supergroup.
Put the two of them in K5 in a band.
Oh well, Stephen Carpenter is still in. He's still in Deftones.
Oh, I'm just saying he could quit just because to preemptively prevent such a situation happening.
Yeah. He wants to surround himself with people with more open minds.
Right.
It's for his own
Open
well-being.
minds?
Yes.
So open that the brain falls out.
Well, thank God the Earth is flat, so it won't roll away. At least
that's
pick
true.
it up.
Pick it right up. Okay, K5 could be there. The upskirt unit because it's flat. See, it's perfect. It all comes back full circle.
Is that going to be the episode title, Rob? The upskirt unit.
That's 50 Cent's side project. Upskirt unit.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
That's his OnlyFans page that he's starting.
Let's take a moment to talk about our Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
Every week, we each pick a song. We drop it on a Spotify playlist. You could search for RIP A Livecast Music Break. And each of us pick a song. There's over 560 songs. Over 37 hours of music. Throw it on shuffle. Do it on, traditional. Any way you want. This week, I picked a song called Harvest from Empire State Bastard.
Who's that?
And Empire State Bastard is actually a new band from Slayer drummer Dave Lombardo.
No.
And two members of, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, they're a UK band, Biffy Clyro.
Oh, Biffy Clyro. I've seen them.
Okay. It's actually really good. It's like it's
like Motionless in White.
It's not Fantomas, but there's Fantomas vibes and also like grungy, sludgy stuff. So it's very interesting. It's very unique and in a way kind of like a throwback to the 90s. I was very impressed with this band. They played earlier this week. I did not go because then I would have been going to shows 3 nights in a row, and I am too old for that shit.
What are the other 2 shows you went to?
I went to see Better Lovers, which is the band with Greg from Dillinger Escape Plan and members of Every Time I Die. It was a very, very good show.
I saw you tweeted that you had an extra ticket. Did anyone end up claiming that?
No one claimed it. No,
Oh.
it was very sad. It was very sad. Bought a ticket for my friend. He ended up having a ticket. We didn't realize until that moment.
So why
But
was
it's
it your
okay.
job to find a new person and not your friend's job?
I was the one who had the ticket. It was on my account.
But he could have sold the one on his account and then taken the
He
one.
was
that...
already inside.
Oh,
He was already-
what a shitty friend! Call him out. Who is this?
He's done. No.
Sean Grazines.
Oh
It's
no!
not it's not the end of the world because I support the band and I support the venue, so I'm okay with all of them.
You're
giving
okay
them
with
double the
one less
money.
person seeing their music and buying their merch.
Well, they made the money. What do you mean? I bought a ticket. I paid
Did
twice
you buy a shirt?
the amount. I wanted to, but the line was too long at the end. I just wanted to go home. I'm gonna do it online. I'm gonna buy it online.
You gotta
I
buy
really
2.
like the band. Maybe. But yeah, I saw them, and then I saw Cold Cave last night, which is like a goth new wave band.
Oh yeah, with the guy from what's
American
that band?
Nightmare.
Yes, Wes Isel.
And it was so wild. Like I haven't seen a band like this in a while that had like that whole indie ironic detachment thing going. Like first of all, their faces weren't lit the whole time. The lighting all came from behind. They played to a drum machine and had a drummer, which was a choice.
Okay.
But the music was really good and it was fun.
Does
it
that
was a
dude still
little-
only have one hand?
It looked like he had 2 hands. I don't
No, I think he only has one hand.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't notice one way or the other.
Look at you. You don't see disabilities.
That's right.
Everyone's
What was
equal
your-
to you.
What was your pick, Sid?
The Netflix series Sex Education came back earlier this week. It's a great show, British show, and the musician Ezra Furman always does a lot of the soundtrack for this show. So there's a new Ezra Furman song that played at the end of the first episode that I liked, and so I picked that. I believe it's called "Forever in Sunset." It's a great show. Ezra Furman's great. Good stuff. Derinsky, what was your pick?
I was in a lift, and the whole way home, man driving the lift car was playing Duran Duran, and this was like a bit of a throwback for me. So I used to love Duran Duran. Kind of fell out of really listening to them too often, but I'm a big fan of Duran Duran, and appropriately because I heard this song in a car, I picked the song "Being Driven by Someone Else." I picked "The Chauffeur."
Nice. Did that play while you were in the car?
No.
Okay.
It's playing the more like early '90s stuff.
Ordinary World.
Ordinary World, and
That's a classic.
Yeah, that whole era. But
Nice. Rob, we got an email from Israeli guy following up on last week.
That's
didn't we?
right. That's right. Last week we played a catchy new number from Israel called Super Trump. Right? Was that what it was called?
Super
Right?
Plump. I don't know if it was
I can't-
called that. That was the
I
hook.
can't find the original video. I wanted to play it now as we're
It's
saying.
okay. We don't need that
But-
earworm all over again.
All right, fine. But who was it? Dusty Roosevelt in the chat was like, "Oh, Israeli guy's totally going to email about this." And sure enough, we did get a comment from Israeli guy. He noted that this is a really catchy song. It's from 2019, although I have never heard it before.
This is Israeli Casey Kasem. Super
Israeli guy
Trump was
says-
recorded in 2019.
Israeli guy says that mainstream Israelis do not favor Trump and do not see him. Oh, and do see him as the delusional person that he is. Well, I don't know. I'm going to push back on this. I feel like, I'm sure there's these people exist, as Israeli guy says, but I also think there's a huge portion that, look the other way on things that they would criticize about him because of his favorability to Israel and all the things he's done, which they would want. So then he mentioned something about Micronesia. Do you guys remember what we mentioned about Micronesia? Why he's bringing that up?
Well, because it's mentioned in the song, I guess that's like the only country that supports Israel or something.
And they gave him kind of a backhanded
Yeah.
slap in the song.
Like,
They were
only Micronesia supports us.
So
right, now I remember. So Israeli guy points out, in a UN vote around 12 years ago for a Palestinian state, they voted against. This was really strange because before that, nobody in Israel was aware they even existed. So now people remember their name.
Another slap.
They got on their shit list.
No, they got on their good list.
Oh, the good list. Oh,
saying-
Micronesia voted against Palestine.
Yeah.
And so
I'm just
Israel was
saying,
like,
Israeli
we're friends
guys
now.
giving another slap because it's
Yeah.
like nobody knew they fucking existed. Now they're our best
Oh, I
friends.
see. Israeli guy also points out that these kids did not write the lyrics. That this is some 70-year-old right-wing guy, and
no shit.
Did we say the kids wrote the lyrics?
Israeli guy
No.
says he's not sure if the kids understand half of what they're saying.
100%.
He
Half is
conclude-
generous.
He concludes with, anyway, I hope you will get a proper president this time around. Sorry, Israeli guy.
We
Not
won't.
going to happen.
Decidedly unlikely.
It's Trump or Dementia Trump. That's our
Yeah.
two options.
Dementia Trump. Dementia
Dementia
Trump. I want to, of course, mention our Patreon, patreon.com/RIPL Livecast. You like what you hear? You want more Livecast? You need more? We got more. $5 a month gets you access to over 3 years of bonus episodes, audio and video alike. And every month we post 2 new episodes exclusively to the Patreon, which you get access to, and you get to support your favorite 3 Jewish podcasters from South Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had just posted an episode earlier in the month where we did a roundtable discussion over the 1975 movie The Sunshine Boys, starring Walter Matthau and George Burns. The movie is available to watch for free, so you can watch the movie on your own, then watch our 1-hour discussion or listen to our 1-hour discussion about the whole thing. It's a fun time. And then earlier in the month, we did a listen along to the Guns N' Roses album Chinese Democracy, which is about to be 20 years old, which is
pretty good.
Crazy to think about. And we ended up liking it. And some past episodes we did watch-alongs of some South Brooklyn reality shows. We listened to the Megadeth album Risk. We listened to Saint Anger. We listened to the new Megadeth album. We watched Rob Schneider's terrible new stand-up special. We watched a show on Netflix called Jewish Matchmaking. You can just hang out with us all the time. And plus, every week, Sid posts a exclusive column giving you the top picks on what to watch on TV and streaming. That's on our Patreon, patreon.com/RIP Livecast. You want to throw us an extra $5, $10 a month. You're a top Livecast fan of the week. You get a shout out at the end of the show, which is I'm getting word that's right now. So how are we going to be doing the shout outs?
You want to do it as Chief Kemper? Each of these people is a robot that has different features.
I am using pre-existing technology right here in this microphone to announce that the civilians Eric, Benjamin, and Dan Aw are top Livecast fans of the week. We have apprehended Mindy Mays Skipper for trying to assault Shasussitz because he seems to claim that Hugo likes tacos. The perpetrator, Land O'Danks, stumbled upon a LaCroix at approximately 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time, and when we approached the man and asked him, "Who are you?" he told me, "Douglas Levison," and we're like, "You're not Douglas Levison. Your name is probably Corey or Scotty H or Doug Pigman or something. Let's get this robot to zap you."
Upskirt.
Yes.
All right. That's our show, folks. We're going to be back next week. Until then, we love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.